We're back. Like for real. Daniel Ehrenberg. That's my name. I'm back. I'm sober, like almost 2 weeks now again, and I got my shit together. And Logan's here. We're doing a real episode of the franchise. We're wrapping up Star Trek before we get into some of these new summer blockbusters next week, which I'm looking forward to. We've got a Star Trek ranking, 14 fucking movies for you, 13 real movies, and one thing that seemed like a TV pilot that they pretended was a movie. But we're gonna do it. We got Star Trek Beyond this week, the last of the J.J. Abrams movies, but it's not directed by J.J. Abrams. It's Justin Lin, and we've got this new thing, Section 31, that premiered on Paramount Plus back in January, which has a 1.7 average on Letterboxd. The Star Trek fans fucking hate it. I thought it was watchable. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. I feel like I'm a dumb guy. Like Star Trek is like the sci-fi for smart people, and I'm over here like, you know what? Which ones I like? The J.J. Abrams ones. And
It
the fucker.
felt it felt like a Marvel show or a
Oh,
Star Wars show.
100%. 100%. It did
It
not
did
feel like a
not feel like Star Trek, so I get where they're
no,
coming from.
no. Same here. But like, did it keep my interest throughout? Yes. Do all of those Marvel ones? No.
I did want to vomit when Jamie Lee Curtis showed up at the end.
That did cause a regurgitative response in me as well. I don't know what the fuck she was doing there.
Well, they have a connection. Her and Michelle Yeoh were in that movie together where they won all the
Oh, that's
Oscars.
right. That didn't even occur to
Which,
me.
well, that's the first thing I thought of. That made me want to throw up.
Yeah.
Made me think about that year of Oscars where they robbed Steven Spielberg and everybody else who deserved
You
it
think
even
Steven
more.
Spielberg gets robbed every year?
Only when he puts out The Fablemans and other great movies like it,
Right,
which
like
happens
always.
often.
All right, Logan Adair. That's who you just heard. I hadn't introduced him, but he broke the rules. He's a rebel, like the Section 31 team.
Can you name
Uh,
one character?
in Section 31, Empress
Oh, I
Philippa.
actually can think of one. Yeah, Quasi. Like, oh, that guy's name was
Wait,
Quasi.
I got another one. Rachel Garrett.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. I
She
watched it
was so
yesterday.
boring to me.
Yeah, but uh, I like that actress. She was in Hannibal, and also that character's in an episode of Next Generation. So people were going crazy about that.
Okay.
Like, so you know where she ends up.
So, I mean, a lot of the people on Star Trek are asked to be very boring, but her specifically, I was like, there's nothing going on here.
But
But if you
sometimes
like
she
her,
wore a fun blue wig.
eh,
All
whatever.
right. Well, we're not starting there. We're starting with
Oh yeah,
Justin Lin. All right, because Justin Lin, the fellow who directed all those Fast and the Furious movies. Which ones?
4, 5, and 6, and then he
And
might have come back.
three, the Tokyo Drift too.
Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Three, four, five, six, and then I think maybe nine as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he's
Because
here.
I'm glad he took a break to do this because Juan stepped in and did 7, and he really knocked it out of the park there.
Well, it was the next one, apparently. He was choosing between this movie and Fate of the Furious. They tried to get him back for that one.
Who's that? F.
And
Gary Gray.
yeah, yeah, and he chose to do this Star Trek movie.
Okay,
Um,
well, did a good job. I like this Star Trek kind of.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like it had like the best balance of like action plus like heart and thoughtfulness to me.
It felt like what the new cast would do with a TV show.
Okay.
Like it had that vibe. When a show runs for like 22 episodes a season, you could feel the writers like which characters don't spend enough time together. Like, let's see what their
Right.
dynamics like.
I
And
felt that too, yeah.
we're doing that in this movie. It's like what does Bones and Spock look like one on one?
And we broke up Uhura and Spock.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Also,
I feel
Simon
like
Pegg wrote the freaking movie. We'll get
yeah,
into that. That was
I
really
feel like
cool.
Uhura didn't have a lot to do with this one.
Not so much, but I did notice. I was like, is Pegg gonna give himself not a lot to do because he's writing it? Like he was
No, he gave
much,
himself more to do.
but not in like a notable way. I thought everyone had a lot to do. Kind of.
Yeah, the
I was
cast had
impressed.
had good balance in this
Chekhov,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sulu and Chekhov, I feel like are always a little underwritten for
I
me.
learned something about Sulu though.
Well, I don't think the original Sulu. Are you referring to his homosexuality?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought maybe that was a shout out to
It
Kai.
was. It was. And Takai,
Okay.
the ungrateful piece of shit that he is, he comes out in the press going like, I don't think it's true to Roddenberry's vision. Like my Sulu was was straight, and I think if you're going to introduce a gay character into Star Trek, just introduce a new character. And Simon Pegg's out here in interviews just going like, motherfucker, that was a shout out to you. You're
Yeah,
an LGBTQ plus activist.
that's
I made your
interesting.
character gay. It's also not an affront to his version of the character. It's a different timeline.
Right. We had old Spock in this timeline. He still exists elsewhere,
Right.
possibly. So he's just complaining to complain. Sounds like.
So listen, George Takei, he was my LVP in the Star Trek the motion picture because I think he's a terrible actor and I think he's an annoying person. And now I just think he's a fucking asshole too.
See the LVP again here.
I think he's LVP in life. Of
Damn.
all the cast of Star Trek's old and new and in between,
Is that true? Is he the worst one?
the LV.
You already said he was worse than that Seventh Heaven child molester. So
I forgot about that. Yeah. I hate George Takei. Fuck that guy.
okay, fair enough.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
Who's the best? Who's the best guy that ever? Maybe Nimoy,
No,
Patrick Stewart.
I mean I like Shatner more than them.
I
Probably Peg. Peg's my guy.
Peg's your guy.
I,
Yeah.
I do
All
love
right.
Peg.
All right. Well, he's here. He wrote it. JJ, he was doing Force Awakens at the time this movie was in development, so he couldn't direct. He stayed on as a producer. Passed it along originally to Roberto Orsi, who
Okay.
was he co-wrote the first two uh, of the JJ one, the Kelvin universe. And he was going to make his directorial debut with this movie, but I don't know, they got cold feet about it or something.
Damn.
So they developed a short list of directors. I think Edgar Wright was on it, Morton Tildum, bunch of names, and
So it would have really been like a him and Peg team up again.
yeah,
That would have been
well,
crazy.
I don't think that was ever really close to happening, but he was on the list.
Right.
But anyway, Lynn decides to do it. He turns down Fate of the Furious and directs Star Trek Beyond, which is the title of the movie. It's co-written by Simon Pegg and Doug Young. All right. They originally had a script from Orsi, but it was his idea for the movie was like, let's go real hard Star Trek with it, like back to like original motion picture kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And the studio was like, you don't understand. It is 2016. We don't make smart movies anymore.
Right. We're done with that.
Right,
You
right.
haven't
That,
seen a
that
movie in a few years. You
that's
don't know.
long
Despicable Me
over.
has come out.
Yeah.
We have the
So
Minions.
so they hire Simon Pegg with the they tell him we need you to make it more inclusive.
Right.
All right, which means we need it to appeal to more dumb people.
Maybe he thought that meant make somebody gay. So he was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go with Zulu.
Yeah. Um and so that's what he does. He comes in, he writes a big budget action movie. All right.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
You gotta know a lot about Star Trek to write a Star Trek movie.
Well, he knows, man. They
Yeah.
reference Star Trek a lot on that show Spaced that he created.
Okay. He's also in The Force Awakens. He's like the guy who gives Daisy Ridley like 4 portions and he gives her like her food that turns into bread.
Really?
Yeah, that's Simon Pegg.
I don't think I ever knew that. Maybe I did it.
You probably did.
Yeah. Anyway, this comes out July 22nd, 2016.
Wow. Were you there?
Uh, no, I skipped this one in theaters, saw it like right when it came out on streaming or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, it cost $185 million to make, which is too much money as far as I'm concerned. You got to make these for less than that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I understand Star Trek is a tent pole, but it's not going to appeal to everybody. Like I can't imagine like dudes who go see like all the Fast and the Furious movies going like, oh, there's a new Star Trek out.
I just really thought about for the first time what tentpole meant, but it means like it's a foundational thing.
That's right. Holds up the tent.
I never once was like, what is tentpole? But now I thought about it, and really made sense to me.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you
thanks.
got there.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Congratulations to Logan Adair.
Thank you. Maybe a listener was like, wow, you explained it to me too.
All right. All right. We're opening
I'm helping
minds.
people out there.
The box office here was $343.5 million. Ultimately, it was kind of a disappointment with that high budget.
Sure.
It didn't really make much money. Um, let's see. Awards. It was nominated for an Oscar for makeup and hair, but it lost to very memorable Oscar winner, in my opinion, Suicide Squad.
Of course. Wow.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Saturn Awards, of course, loved it. It was nominated for it won makeup, and then it was nominated for a bunch of shit. It lost best sci-fi film. It lost to Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Chris
Okay.
Pine was nominated for best actor here, and he lost to Ryan Reynolds for the first Deadpool movie.
That was huge.
And Zachary Quinto was nominated for best supporting actor, and he lost to John Goodman for 10 Cloverfield Lane,
Oh, that's
another
awesome.
another
Shout out.
J.J. Abrams production.
Sure.
Um,
I'm seeing somebody in the cast here, Danny Pudi. I didn't know he was here.
yeah, I looked out for him and I never found him. So he must have had some makeup on or something. I
Yeah.
mean, but it's like the who played like that guy at the very beginning. It was like Shea Wiggum was like that little alien at the very beginning.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes you just don't know.
I saw him in Mission Impossible this week.
Well, he's in a lot of them Fast and the Furious, so he'd probably work with
Wow.
Justin
What a
Lin
career.
before. Yeah, I
What a,
love Shea Wiggum.
yeah.
I first came to know him on Boardwalk Empire. That's where I first clocked him.
I saw him. He was on Vice Principals.
Yeah, he was great in
I watched the
that.
pilot
Yeah,
of that, and he was so funny. He's like
he
the new
is.
boyfriend of the ex-wife.
Yeah,
Very funny.
he's like a fucking
Very
moron
supportive.
dirt biker, but like a sweet guy.
Such a sweet guy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I loved it. I loved it.
yeah. He's great. Um, all right, let's get into the movie.
Okay.
Let's talk about Star Trek Beyond. Tell me, I
What are we
already gave you my
beyond?
general thoughts. We're beyond JJ.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we've moved past him.
That's fun.
Yeah, and we've moved past like old ideas. We've got like an original villain here.
Idris Elba.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
I didn't
most
know he was
dis-
in Star Trek.
the most disappointing man in Hollywood history.
I know. I
The
know.
worst management
Why
and
is he not
agents.
better? Why wasn't he Denzel?
I wish I knew. Do you remember
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
there was a period of time where it was basically accepted that the next James Bond is Idris Elba.
Right. What happened?
Right.
COVID?
I have no fucking idea.
It just sort of disappeared, that thought. And
This
who even is the next? Do we have somebody lined up?
I don't know. Idris Elba he first showed up. I mean, people first became aware of him in
The Office?
no,
That's
The
what that's
Wire.
oh, sorry.
Stringer Bell on The Wire.
Sorry.
And but yeah, they threw him in The Office. He had that show Luther on the BBC. He was doing
Right.
real well in TV, and then it looked like he was going to make the transition to movies. You know, they were like,
Obsessed?
I saw that in theaters.
Great
Obsessed,
film.
a great film, but it was like, oh, his agents, his management, they got him into the MCU. That's
Oh yeah,
exciting, right?
Heimdall.
Is so. What do you think? Which superhero is he playing? Black Panther, Blade,
Green
who?
Lantern,
Uh, wait.
Heimdall.
No, you know that guy with the weird eyes? He's got about
He
8
just
lines, and he
stands with a
guards
sword.
the Rainbow Bridge. That he's gonna play that guy. All right. Well, I saw Thor. He's barely in it.
He's memorable though.
I assume they have big plans for him in the sequels. You go see those sequels. Well, he's barely in these too.
He dies at the start of Infinity War.
Does he?
Yeah, like Thanos kills him.
And then, all right, Star Trek. You familiar with Star Trek? We've had some amazing villains in Star Trek history. The Borg, Khan. All right. Idris Elba. He's going to play the main villain in this new Star Trek movie. All right. I'm watching the movie. Where is he?
Yeah.
Where's Idris? Oh, that guy who's like an entirely CGI and makeup creation who does not speak English. That's Idris Elba.
At some point
You
he does.
you just wait. You just wait. He's going to become Idris Elba. I look at the clock. 15 minutes left in the movie.
Oh, that felt
Oh,
so rushed to me. I did
there
not
he
like
is.
any of that.
There's Idris Elba.
Yeah. I didn't like
What
the way
are
they
we
handled his
doing?
character. But
The worst career of any major actor ever.
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 That can't be true. Is he a major actor? I think we like
He was supposed to be. That's the thing.
that's the thing. But he's not. You ever see Dark Tower?
That was another one, right?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a big fucking franchise. They were gonna make 7 of those.
Wow. 7.
Yeah.
Do you watch it?
No,
Did anyone
of course
watch it?
not.
It's based on Stephen King, right?
It's based on a Stephen King series of novels, which is referenced a lot in his other novels. And I read a comic book that was based on it. I never got into the novels.
Right.
Yeah, I needed pictures.
There was
Some
one
dumb
movie where he
guy.
fought a tiger or a lion.
Remember that movie? Do you remember seeing trailers for that movie? Going like, "This is how far we've fallen.
Yeah.
This is what
Well, I was
Idris
excited for that. And
Elba's
for
doing."
some reason, I didn't watch
You
it.
were?
I'm
No one
always
was
into a
excited
movie
for
like
that.
that. Man versus
No one.
Wild type movie. That's cool to me.
Hey, that new one with Jai Courtney looks kind of good.
What's he doing there?
He's like feeding people to sharks.
Oh, that's really cool. Why is he doing
Yeah,
that?
I don't know, but it's like a serial killer slash shark movie.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah,
Why
right.
Jai Courtney though? I guess
I
because the
don't
movie's
know. I don't
dumb,
know.
but
Yeah. But
that's fine.
it's called Dangerous Animals.
Well, I'll be there.
Yeah.
They
I'll
should
check
release
it
it
out.
Shark Week. That's coming up. Is Shark Week still a thing?
I don't know, but Shark Week is always the week of my birthday.
It's me too.
And
We're born the-
oh,
we're like
that's
the same week.
right. We got the
My
same
mom
week.
was like watching Shark Week the week I was born, basically.
Oh, well, Shark Week was not a thing. Shark Week didn't become a thing until I was like 12 years old.
Oh,
But yeah, I that always felt like a little present to me.
right. Same.
Hey, Daniel, happy birthday! Here's a lot of shark programs.
You can buy a Shark Week stuff on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I
want,
know.
I want sauce and
Buy
stuff.
like the best of Shark Week.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, why not? Someone
Is there a
bought me that.
host of Shark Week? What is that? I don't really understand.
No, they always have like different people doing it every year. I feel like for a few years in a row, it was the dude that hosted Dirty Jobs.
I'm not
You
familiar.
don't know Dirty Jobs?
No.
That's like this guy goes, he's like, hey, this guy works in the sewer. He cleans sewer lines. Let's see what that's like.
That's
And
fun.
then he goes down with them.
You ever,
Dirty job.
you ever
Someone's
know-
got to do it.
It's true. You know Billy the Exterminator?
No.
Oh shit. He's like a guy with like a mullet and like a crazy style, but he's an exterminator. He shows up, he like gets snakes and shit out of your pool. He had a TV show, Billy the Exterminator.
Wow.
It was fun.
Instead of Billy on the streets, Billy in the pool.
This was way before that.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Talk
Yeah.
to me about Star Trek.
Well,
Beyond.
I gotta be honest, I can't follow any plot of a Star Trek movie, so I don't really know what to talk about when it comes to that. But
Well, I mean, what? It starts with it's like a swarm of bees, but it's not bees, it's
oh,
like
it's ships. That was
spaceships.
cool. We
Yeah.
didn't start with that. I feel like that was like a half hour into the
Well, it
movie.
starts with them like there's so much action in this fucking movie. Like it was actually sort of shocking.
But
Like
I thought it was a great balance of everything.
no, I agree, but like I remember like checking the time at one point. It was like 20 minutes in. And I was like, so much has happened.
But at that point we learned like our characters are broken up. Like uh I keep getting his name mixed up. Want to call him Pine. Kirk is like wanting to leave and like leave the ship
Oh, that's right.
to
He
Spock.
goes to Shore Agadashlu, and he's like, I'm thinking of taking an admiral role. I don't want to fly anymore. And then Shore Agadashlu, in her perfect voice, goes, "But we want you here, Kirk."
Right. So
She
he's
has the lowest
conflicted.
voice of Eddie. She just sounds like a cigarette at all times.
Okay.
Um,
Shore Agadashku.
Agadashlu.
Agadashlu. I
I,
was
be- I
gonna
believe she's an Oscar nominee, Logan. You should know
no
who that
way. For
is.
what?
Yeah, maybe The House of Sand and Fog.
No, they dropped the in
They dropped it.
production.
It's cleaner.
It is. She's in 24 episodes, half a season of 24.
There you go. Any Middle Eastern actor was in 24 for a minute. They needed terrorists.
That's a good call. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good call. Yeah. She's had quite a career.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, that's what's happening there. We did get a lot of action. What happened with we had like new characters. I felt like this character Jayla was cool. Who played Jayla? Oh, Sophia Butella.
Oh, well, we don't meet her until we like crash land on that planet and everyone's separated. Simon Pegg's
Okay.
like he gives himself scenes with her. I thought he was like setting himself up, like, let me like hook up with a hot lady.
That'd be
And
crazy.
then like Kirk cock blocks him. He's like, why don't you come with us on this mission? I'm like, oh, Peg.
He
And
did
he's
that to
like, he
himself.
specifically says, like, Scotty, you stay there. You gotta work on this ship.
He knows that's what he's best at, being the sympathetic character. So they like rip the girl away from him, and
Yeah.
the crowd's gonna be like, "No!"
But she
That's
was
really good.
cool. I feel like Sophie
I
Buttel is
agree.
another one who was like supposed to be a bigger deal than
The
she's
Mummy
turned.
was like not
Yeah,
good for
that
her.
kind of killed her. Dark Universe. She was gonna be big in that.
Yeah.
And but
Who is she though? I don't really. That's what I know her from. The Mummy.
I don't know. She's been around for a while though.
Oh, okay. She was in Kingsman, The
Yeah,
Secret Service,
yeah,
Hotel Artemis,
right.
Argyle from last year,
Yeah, I watched that.
Climax, Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, she's in that Rebel Moon, the Zack Snyder Star Wars thing.
Atomic Blonde.
She's in a Foo Fighters video.
That is awesome. And a Madonna one.
Yeah, but anyway,
Two,
she's
three.
been around like sort of like near the A list, but never quite cracking it.
Yeah. I think she was set for it if the Mummy was a success.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
didn't
big
happen.
time. But I think she's really good in this movie.
I agree.
Actually,
I was like expecting when this character showed up, I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna like this character. And then I fully did. I thought she was badass and cool, and I rooted for her, was not annoying at all. So
yeah, she was definitely
looked
like
cool.
a step up from Alice Eve in the last movie.
No, that's
Where
true.
was she, by the way?
That's a good
She
point.
fucking she joins the team at the end of that second movie.
I don't know. Good question. I didn't think about that though.
Simon Pegg was just like, I got no use for that character.
But she's got a. I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe when we interview Simon Pegg, we'll ask him. Obviously,
All right, all right.
there's a spy. Someone was like a spy.
What?
Lydia Wilson, who played Kalara,
The
turned out
fuck
to
is
be.
that?
I don't know. I'm trying to like say some stuff that happened in the movie.
I don't remember that happening.
Somebody had actually they had like weird things on their head that like went around their
Oh,
head.
that's right. Remember, she was like hiding a little, like the weapon in the little things on her head.
Yeah, it was kind of gross.
Yeah, it was kind of gross. It reminded me of like when you see videos of like a centipede giving birth or something.
Ooh. What did we watch recently where there was like a twist and someone like pulled a gun out of somebody's body?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's what it reminded
Angel.
me
It
of.
was
And
Angel.
it reminded me of that Angel episode where there
Yeah,
was like a twist reveal, and I was
yeah,
like,
the one
yeah,
with Wesley's dad.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, great call, great call.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch that today. An Angel episode
Oh
for the
yeah,
first
we
time
gotta
in
do that.
weeks. I'll see Lindsay. Hopefully he gets to get it on with Eve.
And her giant panties.
I thought about that the other day. I was like, why did I think those were so fucking big for some reason? Uh, we play Sabotage. That was fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we play that
Callback.
in the original, and so they start playing it. Kirk goes, uh, "Oh, good choice," because
Yeah,
he listened to that when he was a kid,
he likes
and
that one.
and Spock goes like, "Is this classical music?"
What a guy. What a guy.
Because it's like 200 years old at this point. They also show up Sophia Boutella at one point. She's listening to "Fight the Power" by
Yeah,
Public Enemy.
she seemed into it too. She's like, this is a great song.
Yeah,
I like Quinto. Quinto's good as Spock. I
yeah.
don't really know much about him, but
I think this whole cast is good. Like the
I
one thing
agree.
you gotta give J.J. Abrams with these Kelvin Star Trek movies, I wouldn't change any of the casting.
It's a good point. I don't think I would either. We have to talk about somebody, I guess, because did some research and Anton, how do we say his last name? Yelchin?
Yeah,
Some
one
of
of
these
those.
names I don't.
He
Ulrich.
passed
I don't know.
away like a month before this came out.
Yeah, horrible. Right
And
before
did
it
you
came out.
notice like there's a big monologue near the end where Chris Pine says he's talking about like the people that we've met along the way, those we've loved, those we've lost. And when he says those we've lost, it cuts to a shot of Anton Yelchin,
Oh
and
wow.
it doesn't make sense in the context of the movie. But
Right.
if you're watching it a month after that dude died,
You think
like
that
it was
was
probably
intentional?
yeah, absolutely,
Wow, I did not notice that, but that
yeah.
is interesting. You'll notice that going back watching some old Big Brother seasons when when Julie's like she's talking like, and some of you are standing next to either your best friend or your worst enemy, and then it'll cut to like Dan. They
Mm.
obviously don't know Dan's about to win the season, but they know like he's a mischievous guy and he's about to do some crazy stuff. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. So you're
uh,
saying editing is a thing they do in
editing,
movies and
it's fun.
television?
They can
Yeah,
do fun stuff.
yeah.
Uh, what else happened at the end?
Well, there was that
Oh,
the big gravity sequence where like Peg's running around. There's the part where he's on the motorcycle. There's all these big fucking action sequences in this movie.
well, that was Fast and Furiousy, obviously. Made you think of
Yeah,
that because it was Lynn.
absolutely. Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, so is the sabotage sequence.
Is that
Like
not the same
they're
thing?
they're just
The
no, no, no.
motorcycle sequence?
No, no, no. The motorcycle sequence is earlier when they're like trying to rescue Uhura and they're they get beamed up like while they're doing a motorcycle stunt.
I feel like is Kirk not on a bike during the sabotage? I thought that he was.
No, they are straight up
I'm
they're
getting
just in
confused.
the spaceship during that part. Like they're in the Enterprise, or it's not the Enterprise at that point. It's that spaceship that Sophia Boutella was living on.
Right.
That was Idris Elba's spaceship, as it turns out. Starship. Excuse me. I gotta use
Holy
Star
shit.
Trek terminology.
Yeah, we don't want to upset anybody.
But no, it's just they're like running around that spaceship like fuck Starship, just fucking up like the little bee drones.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, all the action was great. Lynn's very good. What did he do? You said he went back to nine after this.
Yeah, he did
What's he done
nine.
since nine?
I don't know. What's like Justin Lin's last movie?
I'll look it up right now. Um, we got a photo bomb of
Of the
everybody.
whole of the whole fucking original cast. Yeah. That was
Yeah,
mind blowing. It was
he
great to see everybody.
yeah, it was. So he did F9 and then he did Last Days, which I guess is coming out this year.
Oh, he's got a new film coming.
Or is
What's
it already
Last
come out?
Days?
A 26-year-old missionary journeys to the remote North Sentinel Island, determined to convert an isolated tribe, while authorities attempt to intervene before potential harm occurs.
Oh,
Like a
it
horror
premiered
movie?
at the Sundance Film Festival. I think he's trying to do some low budget.
Yeah, a lot of unknown people, except Ken
Yeah.
Long. I know him. So
Well,
that's what's going on there.
glad to see him. Good job, buddy.
You know what I didn't like at the end?
What?
I don't know exactly how we're ending the movie. We're doing like some voiceover though. And then like every character says a line, and I didn't like that very much.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're doing like the these are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
And it's like
Uh,
Sulu and Chekhov.
right, right. Everybody's got like a little bit, and then Uhura
I
is
was
the
like,
one who
what?
says where no one has gone before because it used to be no man, but now
Oh, I didn't catch
yeah,
that.
she's a lady.
That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, sure.
I didn't catch that.
Hmm.
But I was like, this is like so cheesy. Like whatever, whatever. But
It's fine, whatever.
it's fine. It is fine.
It's a sweet movie. I prefer it to Into Darkness.
I
I
think I might
like
like it the most of the three.
I kind of get that. I like the vibe when the Star Trek movies like sort of feel like a TV show.
Hmm.
And it doesn't always work for me. I didn't love it with the Next Generation movies like Insurrection because Next Generation had like just ended a few years ago. Like if I want to watch like the TV show version of this, I've got that.
Right.
It works a little better with the original cast because they hadn't done the show in decades. Um, but it's fun to see what like the Kelvin version of that is, and I think this is it. This is the closest you
Yes.
get to that.
Yeah.
Um, I like everybody sort of separated.
I agree. And they did a good job like with the pairings. It's like people that you want to see together. You're right about
Yeah,
that. That was really good.
who was Kirk with?
Kirk was with well, he was with the girl at a certain point.
No, but
The
Peg was with the girl mostly.
Was he with Uhura? I feel like Peg was by himself and then he found her.
Uhura was like trapped at Idris Elba's facility with Sulu.
Okay. And then it was McCoy, and was he with
Chekhov.
Chekhov?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pine was with Chekhov and the girl you mentioned who turned out to be a traitor. I just remembered that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what Uhura was really doing. Or what Kirk was doing.
He was being funny.
And sexy.
Yeah.
Being Kirk.
Yeah.
Who's better Kirk, you think? You know, it'd be fun if in the new Halloween movies we had Pine spray like a white pine mask for
Oh,
the
that would be
Michael Myers.
hilarious, dude. In the David Gordon
Maybe
Green
for like
ones.
Scary Movie 6.
That would be a good joke.
That'd be a
By the
good
way,
joke.
I saw a fucking trailer for Scary Movie 6.
That's what? That's the out?
Wait, no, 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 no. I'm so sorry. I didn't. It was
Oh
it
my
was
God.
it was the new Naked Gun movie.
Okay. Just titled The
Yeah.
Naked Gun, I think.
Yeah, and I laughed like twice at the trailer.
Well, that's a lot of times.
Yeah, this is
There's a
way
new
more
Happy
times.
Gilmore out too.
Yeah,
Trailer
starring
out.
MJF from All Elite Wrestling.
I was thinking Michael J. Fox when you said that.
No, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Um, all right, what do you give this one?
I would three,
Yeah, me too. Uh,
three and a
MVP.
half is what I would
Okay.
if I could.
MVP.
Oh, that's a good question.
You know what?
Honestly, yeah.
I'm gonna do it with all new characters. MVP Sophia Boutella, LVP Idris Elba. What do you think?
I love it if you're doing that. I would agree Elba is probably the LVP, but I kind of want to go MVP Peg because he wrote the thing, and I
He
thought
did write it.
he did great on his acting too. In all of his
Yeah,
scenes, he crushed it.
I like the way he calls her Lassie all the
He did
time.
that a little too many times. Like I was like, all right, chill out. This is so many times. I'd find another word, but it was fun.
Hmm. All right. That's great job, Logan.
Great job to you,
I'm
Daniel.
so excited to rank them. It's 14 movies. That's the
Yeah, I
most.
still don't know how I feel about my ranking.
I feel good about it. I
They're
feel
all
good
so
about
close
your rank.
together.
They are. A lot of them are. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had to look up like the plots of some of them.
I didn't give any ones or fives. Like it's all between like two and four.
Same, same.
Yeah. Are you about to slot a one for this last one?
I didn't care enough to give it a one.
Honestly, I was engaged the whole time. If I'm engaged with your movie the whole time, I'm gonna give you a two.
Like it didn't upset me enough to give it a one, but I can see being a Star Trek fan and
Yeah,
really not liking it.
if I really cared about Star Trek, I'd give this a one.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So we're talking about Section 31, which premiered on Paramount Plus on January 24th of this year.
Was it shown in theaters or no?
It was not.
Wow.
Um, all right. It's directed by Olatunde Osunsanmi.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. He's a TV director. And it's written by a fellow named Craig Sweeney,
He
who
also
wrote.
directed the film The Fourth Kind. You remember
Oh
that movie?
yeah, I saw that movie. I didn't really care for it. All right, Craig Sweeney wrote it. He's a TV guy. He wrote for Star Trek Discovery. He also created the TV shows Limitless. Remember that show? They adapted that Bradley Cooper movie as a TV show for a while. He created that.
Okay. Do you get
Uh,
credit for creating a show based on a movie?
I well
That's
no
not
you
impressive to me.
you get a different credit. It
Joss
says
did it.
developed by
What about
instead of
Joss? He did that.
created by. What? Which one are you talking about?
Buffy.
Yeah, but he also wrote the movie.
Oh my bad. Man, shout out to Joss. That's so
Mm-hmm.
cool.
All right. Shout out. You want to shout out John some more?
Yeah, sure. Too far down the
uh,
rabbit hole.
he's also got a TV show on right now. This fella, Craig Sweeney. It's called Watson. You familiar with this? Because I wasn't, and
Yes.
I looked it up, and it is fascinating.
I know it from like
Um,
seeing trailers for it,
do you
watching
know anything
basketball.
about it?
I know the lead guy.
Morris Chestnut.
Yeah, that's it.
I love Morris Chestnut, but I saw it's called Watson. I assumed it was based on Sherlock Holmes in some way.
Right.
They keep making Sherlock Holmes TV shows like that Elementary that was on for a
That's
bunch of
based
years.
on Sherlock.
Yeah, yeah, because that's his catchphrase. Elementary, my dear Watson.
What? What kind of
Yeah,
catchphrase is that?
that's something he says.
What does that even mean?
Simple.
I hate it.
All right. Well, Watson is Sherlock Holmes's assistant or whatever.
Right.
All right.
In that world, but not in this world.
No, he still is. But I looked it up. Why is it just Watson? Where's Sherlock? All right. Here's the premise of the show. Sherlock has recently been murdered by his nemesis, Moriarty.
No.
All right. And it seems that they both died in the struggle. All right. Now it's a year later. Watson, who's now black in this universe, he has opened up a medical center
Right.
called the Holmes Institute in tribute to his friend Sherlock. Okay. And he
Should be the Gnomes Institute. Should be a Sherlock Gnomes spinoff.
I forgot about that.
We could do that. There's Nomeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. Are we gonna cover that next? Tell your brother.
I will tell him to pick that, yeah.
But it's a medical show.
Right.
He's like an old timey Doctor House.
Is Sherlock mentioned besides that?
Yes, and also apparently it turns out Moriarty didn't die, and so he's behind the scenes as a villain that'll probably pop up at some point.
Is this what universe? Is this like the Robert Downey Jr. universe?
It's not the Robert Downey Jr. universe. It's not the Benedict Cumberbatch universe. I assumed it was the Elementary universe because
Oh, right.
it has some of the same creative team, but that was a modern show and it had a female Watson.
Oh, there is a Watson.
Yeah, I think Lucy Liu is Watson on that.
That's
so
fun.
This one, but it's its own universe.
This is fascinating.
There are many Sherlock Holmes universes branching off.
You just looked this up, or you've been watching it?
No, I knew nothing about this until I looked up this guy Craig Sweeney,
okay.
and then I became fascinated by this TV show.
I'm familiar with it because this and Tracker are like the two new hot CBS shows. They keep promoting those two guys. Like in every commercial, you'll see Chestnut or Tracker in one of them.
Yeah. You know what was a real throwback for me? Like I forgot about this. This movie, Section 31, was originally developed for CBS All Access.
Oh wow! Shout out
Remember that
CBS
was
All
the thing?
Access, of course.
Yeah, I started forgot that. Yeah, Paramount Plus is what that became.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So here's the genesis of this thing.
Star Trek Genesis.
Is that something?
Oh, I was thinking Star Trek Nemesis. Damn
It
it.
sounds like it could be Star Trek Genesis.
Is that one? That might be a show. I'm gonna look it up.
Might be.
I think it is.
um. Anyway, they they're doing Star Trek Discovery on CBS All Access. All right, that show premiered in like 2019 or
No.
something, maybe
Yeah.
2018. And after season 2 of that show, Alex Kurtzman, who's like the showrunner over there, who's Roberto Ortiz writing partner,
Hmm.
um, he signs a 5-year deal with Paramount to expand the Star Trek TV world. Okay.
Okay.
So they start a whole bunch of shit. There's like an animated show they do called Strange New Worlds, I think. There's they do that Picard show. It's like a Picard solo show.
Right.
There's uh
This guy is
a,
attached to a
a
few. Ola
bunch of other
Tunde.
shit. Well, yeah, he works on all.
Oh,
Anyway, so that was what was going on, and at that point, he pitched Section 31, which was apparently a subplot in Star Trek Discovery, as an ongoing series. It's going to be a fully series. All
right.
right, it gets greenlit by Paramount Plus. For a 2-season deal. They're going to film 2 seasons of the show back to back. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then COVID happens, slows it down. All right.
So
And
2 seasons turned into one movie. That's kind of crazy.
yeah. They're going to do 2 seasons. And then they're thinking mini series after that. Like maybe we'll scale it back to a mini series. Then Michelle Yeoh wins her Oscar, and she becomes much more in demand as an
Right.
actress, and so they scale it back even further to
Got to pay her more.
quote an event film.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
means she just pocketed a lot of money and then they had to turn it into a movie. Sounds like to me.
yeah. It seems like she had like a pay or play deal, and they made her play by doing a movie.
Pay and play.
Yeah. So it's like a 90-minute movie. It feels just like a TV pilot. Like you've been watching a lot of pilots lately. Is this not just another pilot?
Not one of the better ones, but it was one
No,
of
of
them.
course not.
Yeah, but it stacked up.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch any of the Star Trek TV pilots for your
I gotta be
project?
honest. Tim told me in that whenever I asked you guys, he said Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I was going to, but it's like a part one and part two, hour-and-a-half long thing.
A lot of them are. I once watched the Deep Space Nine pilot, and it was 2 hours,
I don't know
and
if I want
I
to
enjoyed it. It was good, but it's 2 hours.
do it. Do any other week I would, but like we just watched 14 Star Trek movies. I don't know if I want to
Yeah,
watch a 15,
I totally get it.
but otherwise I would.
Yeah. Um. All right. So anyway, this comes out January 24th. They're talking like, well, we'll make more of these if it does well, but it
Mhm.
felt like nobody liked it.
Right.
So
But what do they mean do well? It's on Paramount Plus. How do they know?
well, they know like the Nielsen ratings, like how many people are tuning in. So like I saw that like the week Section 31 premiered, bunch of Star Trek fans watched it.
Right.
The highest it got was the eighth most watched original film of the week
That's not
across
very good.
streaming services.
Yeah.
So yeah, which isn't that great.
Well, across all streaming services is better than I thought you
No,
meant just
no,
Paramount Plus.
no, that's
which is
pretty
horrible.
good. But it's a Star Trek movie. Like there's a certain contingent of people that are going to watch anything Star Trek.
Exactly. Which seems like they got that crowd though, but not many new
crowd
fans.
tuned in. Right.
Yeah.
But
they just didn't like it, which is also bad. They got to like it.
Right. So it like immediately dropped off the charts like the next week.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, how'd you feel about it?
I felt
We've
about
got
how you felt about it. Like I watched it the whole time and I wasn't like that bored.
Let's go through the team.
Okay. I didn't like anybody on the team.
Nobody.
Even Michelle Yeoh, I didn't find that fascinating. Her character.
I gotta say, I was interested in the flashbacks. The
The Hunger
Michelle Yeoh.
Games.
It wasn't it the Hunger
It
Games.
was exactly the Hunger Games.
It
We're
was
gonna
basically we're gonna do
a
the Hunger
contest.
Games on Tatooine, and
They're
the
just mixing everything
yeah, they
together.
really are.
I want to.
And the winner of Tatooine Hunger Games gets to be the emperor of Tatooine.
Exactly.
Right, right. So she wins by like betraying PETA. And
And her family. She killed
and yes, she has to kill her family too.
what's her
I like
sister's
that
name?
scene.
I forgot
That
her.
little it's that's a brother, isn't it?
I've been on the Hunger Games. It's like she killed her sister
Oh
in the
right,
Hunger
yeah.
Games.
I
It'd be
don't
like that.
remember. Yeah, but yeah, the family starts
Primrose.
choking. And, and you realize what she did. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's her backstory. Now she's like running a bar,
Yeah, that's what you do
a
next.
space
It didn't
bar.
even seem that successful. She was meant to be the emperor, and then she's running a bar.
Well, I think that was explained on Star Trek Discovery. The
Oh,
the Michelle Yeoh character was a character on like the first 3 seasons of Star Trek
oh
Discovery,
shit.
and then like she like loses her emperorship and like gets sent backwards in time or something, and we don't see where she ends up back there, but I guess she ends up here for, at this bar.
Okay. See, I was actually a bit confused by that because she's set up to be the new emperor, and but then she's like desperate and she's having to join this team. And I was like, aren't you the emperor? Why are you like she's so low down on the ladder now? I didn't understand that. But I
Yeah,
guess there's a show explaining it.
yeah,
My bad.
you can watch it. um anyway, so she's like the main character. Then you got this black fella. He doesn't really have many character traits except that he's like an authoritative black fella.
Yeah. Alok
Then
Zahar.
yeah, then there's a white lady who you were bored by, but sometimes she wears some wigs. And then there's a guy with an exoskeleton
Yeah.
who's really.
Zeph.
I liked how they described him as having exoskeleton body dysmorphia, where like he like doesn't feel like a man unless like he's in his exoskeleton.
Okay. So he
I don't know.
identifies as an exoskeleton.
Yeah, it was interesting. And
That
then you
is
got
interesting.
comedian Sam Richardson, who plays a shapeshifter here called
Quasi.
Quasi. Yeah. I did like that one part where he like fell out of the ship and like turned into a starfish for a second. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, he was kind of interesting. He's probably doing the most for me, but I kind of
about?
found him annoying.
I found him a little annoying at times too, and I
So,
usually like that actor, so I was like, it must be the writing that's annoying me. Um, so there's also a little guy. There's a little
but
like
in the
he's
body of a big guy,
right. He's a little tiny fella, but he's running around in the body of a Vulcan.
right? He must be Fuzz.
Yeah,
I didn't like him
I
either.
I I thought the conceit of it was interesting, but whoever this actor was that they had playing the Vulcan was so fucking annoying. Who's that? That's my
I
LVP.
believe it's Sven Roigrok.
Brutal to watch.
I hope that that's right. Yeah, that's right. I agree. He was like committed to the role, and I appreciated that. But I just found him pretty unwatchable. Like
And
I would
then
have turned the movie off if I
and
could
he
have.
turns out to be like the fucking traitor. And so they have to like kill him. But then at the end of the movie, when they're like setting up sequels, it's like they're like, oh, and we got to bring this guy back in, and everyone's like, I thought he died. And hey, we had two of this guy.
Luckily, there won't be another one, so we won't have to see where that goes. But they did. They made it seem like we were supposed to pop for that or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Like he was such a funny, likable character that was, oh, thank God we didn't waste that character in the pilot.
I could see some people liking him.
I mean,
Some people gotta like everything, right?
yeah, I guess.
There's a thing for everybody. Who
Um,
else we got? Nobody else
oh,
really made that much of an
well,
impact.
there was that one who died early. She was like a Delton.
I kind of liked
She
her.
she had like pheromones. She was sort of like Fleur Delacour
Okay.
from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You know, like you like get near her, you like immediately get a boner,
Right.
and she was able to use that.
But she wasn't able to dodge the rays
Yeah,
of death.
that's right.
That was a shame. I don't know who she was, but yeah.
And anyway, there's a MacGuffin in this. It's a big weapon called the Godsend,
Holy
and
godsend. Yeah.
and then they make a fun joke like, is it
God's end.
Godsend or Godsend? Yeah.
I
Um.
wanted to create a noose and hang myself in that
Yeah, there
moment.
were a couple moments where I just wanted to like crawl under my bed
Yeah.
and hide from the movie.
The writing was the worst part. Oh, and the visuals, honestly. The visuals were pretty rough at times too. So the effects.
um,
It looked like a Paramount Plus
it
creation.
did, it did, but I mean, like I was not even considering it a movie as I was watching it. Like as a
Yeah.
pilot for a Paramount Plus TV show, it looked fine.
Who's the pilot of the ship? The starship.
I don't
Quasi? Was that
know.
Quasi? I don't remember. No, he's a
Mine,
he's a shapeshifter.
I don't
He
fucking
can
remember.
shapeshift into a pilot.
Is that all the characters?
I feel like yeah. Oh, there was this guy, Data. No,
Oh yeah, because I kept thinking they like
Data.
I thought at first they were referencing Data.
Right. You can't do that. Data. No. But anyway. Oh yeah, but we did get like in the Hunger Games. She had this PETA. She betrayed PETA, but then he grew up and then he like tried. He killed himself. Remember?
Yeah, but then he faked his death.
He didn't die.
No, no, he comes back later, and it's like he had slowly poisoned himself, so he became used to the poison. So when you
Whoa.
saw him die of the poison, he was and then the little guys he like makes a joke about that. See, little things are good, like doses of poison.
What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
I hate that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So he lives. All right. Um,
Yeah. But I don't know if he survived the thing, but he was definitely like they found him by the end. I think he was
okay.
like masterminding this whole thing.
Okay. He was San, I guess.
Yeah.
San, whatever. That's her
He
crew.
was
Do you
in
think
Barry. Do you remember him in Barry?
maybe actually? He did
Huh.
seem like an actor that I recognized, but I didn't look him up. But
All right.
well, do anything fun happen in the plot wise?
No.
Okay. Um, the guy is basically just a godsend, whatever
There's
that
like a
thing was.
murder mystery at one point, and
Oh
it's
yeah, who
like,
did it? We're like, who's the traitor?
right, right.
That was kind of the most interesting part of the movie.
And then it turns out it was the little guy, like he like put the Vulcan on autopilot and went into the exoskeleton and made the guy kill himself. So he made
Yeah,
it look like a suicide.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah, that was all right.
that was like the best section probably of the whole movie. Uh, what do we get?
Yeah,
We
it was also like the least visual effects heavy, so it was like more tolerable just than like standing around.
exactly.
Yeah,
Uh, who did the script? Craig Sweeney really did the screenplay, so
yeah.
he's to blame.
He's the guy that created Watson.
Oh, okay. And Medium.
He didn't create Medium; he just wrote for it. He was
Oh,
executive producer on it.
okay. Sorry. All right.
I believe
Well,
me. No, never mind. I was gonna say I thought I knew who created Medium, but it wasn't who I thought it was. I was
isn't
thinking of
it the Long
Crossing
Island
Jordan.
Medium?
No,
Crossing Jordan.
I was thinking of Crossing Jordan. Yeah,
You ever meet the Long Island Medium?
I never met her.
You probably could. Does she still live on Long Island?
I don't know if she's out there. Maybe I passed her on the street.
You would know. She looks like the Long Island Medium.
Everyone on Long Island looks like that.
I feel like she can't move anywhere because she's the Long Island Medium.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
what
You're
she
sort of
is.
locked in,
You're
right?
locked into Long Island.
Hmm.
Locked onto Long Island.
Yeah. It's
uh,
like if you like were in like Ohio and you ran into like the Jersey Devil, you'd be like, "What are you doing here, buddy? Go
yeah,
back to New
this is my
Jersey.
territory,
Go back to
motherfucker.
the Pine Barrens."
Yeah. Wow. Is that the best episode of The Sopranos? That's what people say.
Oh, the Pine Barrens.
The Pine
It's
Barrens.
it's up there. That is a great one. There's a really good episode of the X Files about the Jersey Devil too.
I watched the first episode of the X Files. I don't know if I would continue watching the. I'm just kidding. I didn't love the plot.
I thought we were saving that for fucking after
Well, I
Angel.
had to watch pilots.
Mm,
I had to see if maybe it was good.
it
Um,
is good.
I didn't love the plot of the first episode, like the weird translucent guy. And I feel like, but we got resolution. Like, how is she still a skeptic?
Oh, well, that's a problem people have with that show because she experiences crazy shit
Exactly. That was my
in
biggest
every
thing.
episode and is still a skeptic by like season 5.
Leaving the first episode, I was like, well, there's your answer. Scully or whatever your name is. You can't be a skeptic anymore. But then there's still so many other shows, and I assume she's the skeptic. There's got to
Yeah.
be some
I
conflict with them.
guess what? She can be a skeptic no matter what.
Okay, she's just one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine.
All
Uh,
right. Logan, I'm giving this a 2.
Same.
My MVP, I guess, is Michelle Yeoh, but I mean, no one really stood out. My LVP is that fucking guy that I hated.
My LVP is
Um,
Jamie Lee Curtis because I actually got like a horrible reaction in that moment. Like I shouldn't feel that way watching a movie.
that's hilarious. All right, let's do our ranking of Star Trek movies.
Let's do that. I think we should go back and forth.
Okay, you want to start with 14?
Yes,
All right, there's 14 Star Trek movies, including this section 31. I have this ranked at 14.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Yes, and the
All right.
fans seem like they would too.
What do you have at number 13?
13, I have the. I'm trying. I want to say what they are, but I'm not sure I'll really be able to. I think this is the Tom Hardy one, Star Trek Nemesis.
That is, yes.
Okay.
All right. I put at number 13 Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier, the one directed by William Shatner, the one where he free solos
Hate
and
that
they
choice.
sing Row, Row, Row Your Boat.
Horrible. And he like finds God, but he's like, "You're not God. What are you talking about?" That's interesting stuff. That's
It's all
pretty
right.
cool stuff. My 12th place, I have Star Trek, His Erection, Insurrection.
Great. My 12th place is I have the Tom Hardy one, Star Trek Nemesis. All right. So seems like we're pretty close so far.
So I mean, sort of. You that one you said is way high on my list.
Okay.
But number 11, I have Star Trek, the first one with the new cast, Star Trek Generations.
Okay. At my number 11, I put Star Trek His Erection.
Okay, love it.
Okay.
My number 10, I have the third film in the original six film? I don't know what you call
Yeah.
it. The Search for Spock.
All right. My number 10 is your number 11, Star Trek
I love
Generations.
this.
So
So
see,
good.
other than Final Frontier, we're like right on right now.
Right, exactly. So my number 9, we'll see where this lands for you. I have Star Trek Into Darkness.
That's my number 9.
This is amazing. I love this.
Yeah.
I think we like talking it through, we sort of land sort of like similar
Yeah.
places.
This is
So
interesting.
it makes sense. My number 8, I have the final film in the original group, The Undiscovered Country.
My number 8 is Search for Spock.
Okay. So my number 7 is The Final Frontier, which you said a long time ago.
And my 7 is Undiscovered Country. So we all those
Done.
We've mentioned the same ones.
Literally, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. So number what? 5?
6.
6 is I forgot what one this was. Star Trek First Contact.
Oh, I have that higher. That's the Borg one.
Okay, sorry.
The one Tim came
You and
on
Tim did
for.
really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. My number 6 is Star Trek Beyond.
Okay. Okay, that's higher on my list. They know,
Fucking fly.
they're just being
attacking
attacked
me.
by a
Leave me
fly.
alone.
This is terrible. We got to get a swatter.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
my number 4, what?
5.
My number 5 is Star Trek Voyage Home.
Okay. Wait, which one's that? That's the whale one?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
We get Spock, we save him, and then we get the voyage home, but then we get some whales.
Mm-hmm. My number 5 is Star Trek the Motion Picture.
Okay. My number 4 is
Jesus.
I'm sorry. My number 4 is Star Trek 2009 edition.
That's
J.J.
my number 4.
Abrams. Okay. My number 3, you said at number 5, Star Trek Beyond.
Okay. My number 3 is Star Trek First Contact.
Okay, that was my 6. So a little bit of a gap there. My number 2 is Star Trek the Motion Picture.
My number 2 is Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan.
Wow, I did not expect this. So you guys love First Contact. My number one is Khan. Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan.
And my number one, the whale one.
Oh, really? Where was
Star
First
Trek,
Contact?
the number three. I just said it, fucker.
Oh, I'm sorry. This has been really confusing. I also had to like put the number beside them to even know what number they were. Um, wow, you love the whale one that much?
Yeah, The Voyage Home. I decided that's my favorite Star Trek movie.
I love that choice. But what's crazy is I always thought that was a bad movie. Like people I thought made jokes about it, like the whale Star Trek movie. But that was one of the better ones. I don't
I think it's
understand what people
more
are saying.
weird than bad. It's just strange that that's a
Unexpected.
movie.
Right, but if they watch it, it's good. And it has the
Yeah.
mom from Child's Play.
Yeah.
So great job.
All right.
What a ranking.
We finished Star Trek.
Yeah, I hope the nerds aren't too mad at us.
I feel like we gave service to this franchise.
I mean, we watched 14 movies. I feel like that was
Yeah,
service enough.
that's right. All right, Logan, next week on the franchise, we are covering two movies that are out in theaters currently. All
Sure.
right. Final Destination Bloodlines, which is the sixth Final Destination film, directed by the fellows who did Leprechaun Origins,
Wow.
which we covered once upon a time on the franchise.
That one
Starting
bad?
Hornswoggle. It's the worst Leprechaun movie. And then we also are covering Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Is that what it's called?
It's a good question. I believe so.
The Final Reckoning?
I believe no the.
Okay.
I don't keep going.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you've seen Star Trek. Oh, there is the Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Yeah. And that's Chris McQuarrie's film. It's the final, supposedly, Mission Impossible movie, even though I think they should have ended with Fallout.
Well, they didn't.
I know.
I heard they've been making these movies since COVID though. Like even The Final Reckoning has been going on since COVID.
Oh, really?
So they have to keep pushing forward.
I guess so. Anyway, so that's next week on the show. Be tuned into the patreon.com/the franchise. We're back there as well with we did Comp Beasts, finished season 42 of Survivor. We did we're doing Angel still on the Buffy's Angels. We got Hey, I'm Watching Here coming next week. So stay tuned
Or
for
rank
that.
pilots at some point.
Yep, that's what Logan's been watching all these pilots for.
Yep. My favorite, Nathan Fielder. He's my favorite pilot.
Oh yeah, I watched that. I binged that when I got home from detox.
That was so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did a thing with Tim where we talked about the Survivor 50 cast and the
True.
Lost Weekend.
That's right. There's a new show on there hosted by Logan and Tim. Shut up, Tim Allen.
I don't know how many we'll do.
Well, I think you should do at least once a month.
Once a month, we'll try to do.
Yeah, it's called First Times, and they're watching a movie for the first time. This time, they thought it would be very funny to watch The Lost Weekend, a classic 1945 Billy Wilder film about alcoholism. To commemorate their.
You joked about it first. Not us.
Well, I wanted to do a podcast from rehab.
But here's the thing, though. Also, with that is, I would have also had to have seen 25 alcoholic movies, and
there are so many.
I know there are. I looked them up, but 25 is a lot. I don't know if I could have got the 25.
Okay.
Could you even? 25 is a lot.
I could.
Okay.
Especially if we're including TV like storylines.
You
could have included like Kirsten Cohen's alcoholism on the OC.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Remember when she left it in the sink so she could go back and get more?
Yep, I've done that.
Because I questioned you. I was like, why'd she not dump it out? And you were like, well, she didn't dump it out because she was going to go back to it later.
Yeah.
I was like,
can't get rid of booze.
That's like real. That's hardcore shit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, that's what's coming up on the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here for us for Star
Thank
Trek
you
for
for being a
fucking
friend.
ever.
I watched that first episode too.
Oh, did you? Nice.
So good. That's the show. So good.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, all right,
That was a Golden
everybody.
Girls reference, guys. If you didn't catch
Yeah.
that. Oh
Fuck
no.
you, Fly.